The sun dipped low over the Arizona plains, turning the sky into a wash of molten gold and red. The wind carried the scent of mesquite and dust as Caleb Hart rode his weary horse toward the river valley. He'd been traveling for days, running from the ghosts of a past he didn't care to remember. A soldier once, now a wanderer, the frontier was the only place left that didn't ask questions. He came across the lake by accident. It was hidden between rocky cliffs surrounded by cottonwoods. The water shimmered like glass, peaceful and untouched. Caleb dismounted, kneeling to fill his canteen. That's when he heard laughter, soft, lilting, and unfamiliar. He looked up and froze. 3 young women were bathing near the far bank, their laughter echoing off the rocks. Their dark hair glistened in the sunlight, and their movements were graceful as river reeds. He knew immediately an Apache. His first instinct was to turn away, to leave before trouble found him. But fate, cruel as it often was in the Wild West, had other plans. One of them spotted him. Her voice cut through the air, sharp, commanding. The laughter stopped. 3 pairs of dark eyes fixed on him. Caleb raised his hands, backing away. "Didn't mean to intrude, ladies," he stammered. "Just needed water." But it was too late. They moved swiftly like shadows. Within seconds, he was surrounded. The eldest, proud and strong, holding a bow. The second, curious and sharp-eyed. The youngest, barely 20, clutching a small dagger. The eldest stepped closer. "You saw us bathe," she said in halting English. "Now you must marry us." Caleb blinked. "Come again?" The women didn't smile. "Apache law," the eldest continued. "Man who sees woman without dress must take her as wife or die." He swallowed hard, heart pounding. "Look, miss, I didn't mean no harm. I'll leave right now." But they didn't move. The youngest tilted her head. "You good man? You look away now, maybe too late." He was in no mood to argue with tribal custom, but neither was he ready to be husband to 3 strangers. "Ain't this something?" he muttered under his breath. They bound his hands with rawhide and led him back to their camp before sunset. The journey through the desert was silent except for the soft crunch of their bare feet on the sand. When they reached a cluster of teepees beside the cliffs, children stopped playing to stare. An old woman laughed. "The white man saw our daughters, and now he is theirs." Caleb sighed, realizing there was no explaining his way out. That night, the women's father arrived, a tall Apache chief with silver in his braids and wisdom in his eyes. "My daughters tell me you saw them at the sacred lake," he said gravely. "In our law, that makes them yours to protect." Caleb hesitated. "Sir, I didn't come here to dishonor anyone." The chief nodded. "Then you honor them by staying." The camp erupted in murmurs. Some men looked furious, others amused. The daughters sat quietly beside the fire, each casting him a different glance. Curiosity, defiance, and amusement. Caleb rubbed the back of his neck, feeling the weight of the desert sky pressing down. He was given a tent, food, and a warning. If he tried to escape, the spirits of the lake would curse him. Whether it was superstition or not, he didn't plan to test it. Days passed. He helped the tribe repair tools, hunt rabbits, and guard the outskirts. The eldest daughter, Ayanna, fierce and disciplined, kept him under watch like a hawk. The middle one, Tala, sharp and witty, mocked his clumsy Apache words. The youngest, Sani, gentle and curious, asked him endless questions about the world beyond the desert. Each day, the lines between captor and companion blurred. Caleb began to see that they weren't wild savages, as white men said. They were proud people, protectors of land and family. He respected them, even admired them, but still the idea of marrying 3 women haunted him like a bad dream. One evening, as the sun burned low, he sat by the lake, the same place where his trouble began. Ayanna approached, bow in hand. "You think our law foolish?" she asked. "I think it's surprising," Caleb admitted. "Where I come from, folks usually get to choose who they marry." She nodded slowly. "We choose too. But spirits choose first." Her gaze softened. "Maybe they chose you." He didn't know what to say. Her closeness, the firelight dancing on her face, it made him forget the world beyond that moment. Then Tala appeared, smirking. "He blushes like a boy," she teased. Sani giggled behind her hand. That night, laughter filled the camp as they shared food and songs. Caleb found himself smiling again, something he hadn't done in years. For the first time since the war, he felt like he belonged somewhere. But trouble, as always, found him again. At dawn, gunshots cracked through the valley. A group of bandits and white men had found the camp, hoping to raid it for supplies. Caleb woke to chaos, smoke, shouting, arrows flying. Without thinking, he grabbed his rifle and ran toward the fight. He shot one raider off his horse, then another. The chief fell beside him, wounded. Ayanna screamed, running toward her father. Caleb stood his ground, firing until his rifle clicked empty. When the last raider fell, silence returned, heavy and broken. Blood stained the sand. The chief, barely breathing, looked at Caleb. "You fight like Apache," he whispered. "Now, your family." With his final breath, he smiled. The tribe buried their leader at sunrise. The daughters stood beside the grave, faces streaked with tears and dust. Ayanna turned to Caleb. "Now we lead. But we cannot do it alone." He shook his head. "I can't take your father's place." She looked at him firmly. "No, but you can stand beside us." Weeks turned to months. Caleb stayed. The three sisters divided their duties. Ayanna led the warriors, Tala managed trade, Sani taught the children. And Caleb worked the land, helped rebuild, defended the tribe when needed. One night during a ceremony by the lake, Ayanna stepped forward with a small clay bowl. "You came to us by accident," she said softly. "But maybe accident is fate." Tala smirked. "You saw all three of us, Caleb Hart, so we decided you can choose." The tribe laughed softly. Caleb looked at each of them, fierce Ayanna, clever Tala, gentle Sani, and realized that choice wasn't simple. They had each changed him in different ways. He smiled faintly. "Maybe the spirits did choose for me, all of you." The sisters looked at each other, then burst into laughter. Ayanna nodded. "Then you stay. All hearts here are one." The drums echoed through the night and the stars shimmered over the desert. Caleb had come to the Wild West to run from his past. But he'd found something else instead. Belonging, purpose, and love that didn't need to fit any law but the heart's. And when the wind whispered across the water of that hidden lake, it carried laughter. 3 voices in one. Reminding the desert that even in the harshest places, love could bloom like cactus flowers after rain.